My thing keeps stopping the charge. We need charge. We need charge. Hold on. There we go. All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you log on this evening, let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to our BYOB Basics. Now, as you also log in, I want to make sure that you are dropping it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got some background noise. No. All right. That's like, wait, that's not me. Did my song change? All right. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. Like I said, we're about to get this call started. We want to make sure this is BYOB Basics, and we want to make sure we do a basics call to really make sure that each and every last one of you all are, you know, on the right sheet, understanding foundation, set up properly, you know, and ultimately that's why we're doing this line. And so when I look on here, let me see, it's more of you all on the line, but I want to make sure we're dropping it in the chat. Let me see, I see Cleveland, good evening, good evening. I see Minnesota, good evening. Fort Lauderdale, good evening, Cleveland, good evening, Texas. Milwaukee, good evening, Essex, UK. Good evening, Milwaukee. Okay, Milwaukee. Jacksonville, good evening, Jacksonville. All right, I see you, Cleveland. Good evening in Virginia, Lake Wells, Florida. I see you. Detroit, Milwaukee, Orlando, good evening. All right, Atlanta, good evening. And Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen, drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from, right? Those affirmations. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. I am the owner of Kingdom Currency, a token with a purpose. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what I really want, you hear that noise in the background? We're gonna be talking about that in a little bit. So, but what I really, you know, want to make, and what I really want to happen is I want us to dive in, right? We know that there's been a few changes. We know that a few things have adjusted, and we're going to discuss that tonight. So tonight's call will be a little bit different. I definitely want you all to know that. Now, I want you to bear with me this evening because I'm going to take my time, and prayerfully based on time, what we're going to be able to do is we are going to we are still going to walk through a trade and still get you set up. But I want to get started first and foremost before, you know, we do anything else. I want to know who the first time, this your first time on the line, your first time with me this evening. Let me get a 111 in the chat. If this is your first time with us this evening, let me get a 111. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222 in the chat. If you are cashing out, let me get a 777 in the chat, right? 777 in the chat. All right, awesome. So welcome, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and of course, welcome back. And so we're going to get started tonight by first and foremost, obviously, you know, I want to make sure that all of you are aware, you know, as somebody near and dear to our family, you know, she's definitely an integral part of our family. We hear her voice everywhere, and her testimony is on our website. So I'm going to share some things for those of you all who might not have seen it. And for some of those of you all, you know, like I said, for those of you all who might not have seen it, for those of you all who might not know her personally, but just hear her voice, Miss Licia Monet, her brother passed, and her younger brother. Now she's a millennial, so that means she's in her 30s. Now he was in California, and so I dropped her, you know, her voice before her voice. She's on Clubhouse. She does radio. She's producing. You know, she does so much, and she's an integral part of this movement. And so you know, I dropped her Cash App and her PayPal if anybody wants to. It's in our Telegram, our BYOB Telegram. If anybody wants, and I'll make sure I drop it in this one, the Cash Out, but so it'll be on there after the call. But if anybody wants to, you know, don't send flowers, pay it forward. You know, her brother was in California. They have to bring him home. And, you know, I do understand this is a very difficult time for her and her family, but I definitely want to make sure that we, our prayers are with her and her family at this time right now. You know, and when I said I'm gonna tell her testimony, she spoke on it, she speaks it all the time. And so what she's able to do and what this movement has done for her specifically, you know, when you think about it, she is someone that used to be homeless. You know, she's a single parent with 2 children. And so what she's been able to do and what this has done for her and her family, the personal development, the growth, the stability, the things that this has done for her and her family, you know, is just very significant. And so if it's on your heart, right, obviously, I'm not going to tell you you have to do anything, but if it's on your heart, you know, I'm gonna put this in our Telegram. If it's on your heart, you know, just make a $5, 500, whatever is on your heart, you know, just pay it forward right now. And I just wanted to start the call with that. Definitely want to make sure that we are consistently praying for her and her family right now. You know, I cannot imagine what they're going through. So it's just a very difficult time. And I did tell her to take a look. So those of you all who saw the prayers and everything, so she is very aware. So thank you all for the messages and everything else that was sent out. So I'm trying to get that message and kind of put it in there. I want to make sure. So I'll put it in their group. All right, so it's her Cash App is in there now. So it's in there now. I dropped it in a private group initially. So so tonight, I want to make sure, you know, just definitely want to, when we're on our website, okay, let's talk about your registration, and then we're going to dive into what we're talking about tonight, because I don't want to miss that. I want to make sure that you are present and registered for one of these summits that we have coming up. So when you take a look at what's going on, we have one event in 7 locations. So Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Jacksonville, and also South Florida. There is one event taking place, one event in 7 locations. And so this is just speaking to the growth, the expansion, and the reality is we are changing lives around the world. So that's definitely something that you want to position yourself to make sure that you are ultimately taking advantage of. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that we're doing that and we're taking advantage of this. So obviously we have our early bird registration right now this week. So you want to take advantage of that early bird registration and go ahead and get registered, and make sure you get some guest tickets as well, because you want to make sure that your guests are getting registered. You want to make sure, you know, like I said, you want to make sure that your guests are getting registered. You want to make sure that we are sharing this information worldwide, right? That's definitely something that we want to be able to do. And so now, as we dive in tonight, okay, like I said, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to slow it down. You guys are going to have to ask questions. I already know. And I want us to prep for the way forward. One of the things that we know where we are and what we've been discussing is the reality that we are embarking upon a fiscal year. Now, fiscal year means fiscal responsibility, right? And I want you to think about your financials, your family, your, right? I really want you to think about it from that perspective, okay? I want you to think about, you know, you creating a shift. We talked about being in a geopolitical market, which is impacted by politics, by things that are transpiring. And so some of the things that are happening that we were talking about last week was the reality that, one, what happened? there will so in the United States, that is the safe haven currency. And overseas in the pound is the most liquid. So you had a prime minister, right? You had the prime minister shift and change out. So that's one. Then of course we had the death of the queen. That's two. And so there was a lot of uncertainty as we saw GBP weaken, but we also know that we're coming upon the end of a fiscal year where the most dominant currency, the US dollar, that is the one that's in every major currency pair. So we know that. And so understanding that, okay, understanding what we are in the market, understanding that we know that this week is about patience. And so then what transpired and what happened over the weekend is Apple made a decision that they were going to move forward with sanctions because of the trading app we use is a Russian company. Okay, not getting into the details, the 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐻, the what, but to me, initially I got quite a bit of, oh, I should have an Android, da 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 da. But what we know, and I'm looking at it as I'm always proactive and not reactive. I want to be proactive and not reactive. Reactive puts you in a situation where you're trying to figure out what to do. Proactive makes you really think and develop a mindset, because all I've known from my obviously there are other apps, there are other things that are out there. I've touched them, I've played with them, but the reality is our default has been MetaTrader 4. That's where we've lived. That's because 78 is from the numbers I've seen. 78% of the trading community use MetaTrader 4 in some way, shape, form, or fashion. As you're going to see tonight, one of the options that I'm going to show you is still MetaTrader 4. Apple just is not afraid to make those hard decisions, right? They're not. They're not afraid to make those decisions. And then if you think back to COVID, when COVID hit the market, the reality is when Apple closed the store, if I recall correctly, it was in China, and everybody took notice, and then of course, that's when we started seeing the market drop, that's when we started seeing quite a bit of things take place, when we saw that. And so I just want to kind of keep, on that mindset and understanding that, once again, it's not a time for us to, oh my gosh, the war is serious, it's something that's very significant. So it's not, obviously we throw Apple jabs, we do all of those things consistently. We do all of those things, but at the end of the day, Android, Apple, Android, but at the end of the day, I want us to have a different mindset and a whole different, mindset and a whole different perspective of being proactive and not reactive, okay? Because the reality is I'm going to keep all my Apple products. I'm on a MacBook right now, I'm gonna keep all my products. So, but that's neither here nor there at this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few of those things, right? We're going to talk about different ways you could trade. Now, what I do want to be very clear is your trade account has absolutely nothing to do with the app, okay? Your personal trade account that you have absolutely nothing to do with the app. And then as I have been diving into this and spent quite a bit of time, testing different platforms and, analyzing, I honestly think this is a blessing in disguise. Things always have to take place for us to realize it. But one of the things for you to be a successful trader, one of those functions, what do we always talk about? Discipline, not over leveraging your account, making sure, we're so consistent with, these conversations and we're consistently having these conversations. And then I still have conversations with individuals that, oh, well, I did mix my indices with this. Oh, well, I didn't put a stop loss. Oh, well, I was trying to do it on my phone and I couldn't really see. So I just clicked the button and, oh, well, you know, and it's so much that results back to, I can go on and on all night about the oh wells, right? The oh well this happened, oh well that happened, oh well, oh well, oh well. And I mean, we could have this conversation all night long because I've heard so much. I hear so many stories. I hear so many different things. But the reality is it all results and it boils back down to not being disciplined, you know, and so honestly, I think it's going to create an environment because the strategy itself, BYOB cash out, is 92% accurate, back tested. You know, you're not trying to squint your eyes and trade on your phone. You're not trying to do those things. So I think it's going to create an environment, you know, when we say sit down, mark up your charts, you know, let's analyze, let's do this, it's going to create an environment where you're not trying to force a trade, rush a trade. You know, you're taking your time to properly set it up, to do the analysis, and then you'll actually be able to take that trade. So I'm just a little optimistic right now. You know, I just think it's a blessing in disguise, if you ask me. So now there are many brokers, many brokers, many opportunities, many different ways to do things. Okay, so obviously there are brokers that we've had overseas, not overseas. And so where I'm going to start is a broker called 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐸, which is one. Now, I want to be very clear. You think it's a blessing too? Haha, somebody agrees. Yay. So I want to be very clear. I am not advocating for a broker. All right. I'm not promoting a broker. You're going to make your decision on what you think is best for you. You know, based on what we discuss and other options that are out there, you're going to make that decision for yourself. All right. And, you know, I just know why I'm saying I think it's a blessing is based on what I've experienced, what I know, you know, what I've heard, what I've seen, you know, those sorts of things. And so I just want to, you know, just really kind of put that out there, right? Just want to make sure that, you know, that's what, you know, so that's really where I'm at. Now, 𝐥𝐤𝐸𝐸, okay? I'm gonna walk you through a few things with this broker first and foremost. So I created an account. All right, let's see if I can get logged in. So I created an account. Now they're still doing a phone verification. I missed their call today because my text messages weren't working. But on the training slides, I created this account and I did a $10 deposit via Cash App, via Bitcoin. So I'm gonna walk you through. Drop it, you know, in the chat. Let me get a you know, just let me know. Are you familiar with this broker? Not familiar with this broker? Someone using 𝐥𝐤𝐸𝐸, not using 𝐥𝐤𝐸𝐸. I kind of walk you around it just a little bit. But I want to know. So yes, we're familiar with this broker. So now, all right, not using it. Okay. I like them, but it's quite a few other ones that are out there. So I'm gonna just kind of familiarize you with this one. So you're gonna go to 𝐥𝐤𝐸𝐸. Now, this is not a US broker. All right. I'm gonna be clear. This is not a broker that's here. It's not one of those quote unquote regulated brokers. One of the things in the United States you'll find with many brokers is the leverage. So in the United States, I think it's like 1 to 50 when you do leverage. And here it's like 1 to 500. You get different leverages when you create an account. So with that being said, what the leverage is really like the use of borrowed funds. And so 1 to 50, once again, is going to create more discipline. Bottom line, it's going to create more discipline. It's going to put you in a position where you're going to be disciplined. That's it in a nutshell. You know, because you're not, basically what it's saying is, I'm going to borrow funds to increase my trading position. So it gives opportunity for more money, but at the same time to make more money, but at the same time, it gives you opportunity when you're not disciplined to lose more money, you know. But what I've seen for the most part is they will close the trade. You know, I haven't seen anybody get a bill from them, but the reality is you could. So I just want to be clear on that. So with this broker, when you set it up, you're going to have to go through, they're going to verify your email. Now this one kind of operates like a savings account in a sense. So you notice that there's $10 in this broker account. I'm gonna talk to you about that in a minute. So with that, you know, you open this account and there is a dashboard, okay, where you are gonna have to like set your account up and everything else, okay? So this one is not fully, this is my demo play account, so I'm really not worried about you guys getting the information. So, you know, this is, like I say, you'll see that the transactions deposit, you're gonna have to go in and set it up. They're gonna verify your email, and they're going to verify your phone number. Like I said, I just didn't get to complete that today, running around hurricane prep and things like that. So I missed their call. They did call me. So, but you have the opportunity. Now with this one, why I say it operates like a savings account, because what I do like about it is you get to manage the money that's in your actual account. Okay, like in your trade account. Now you don't get to make a trade account until you make a deposit. I'm talking about a live account, not a demo. You can demo all day and twice on Sunday. You can demo forever. You never have to make an account. That's one of the reasons I like them. I've seen some brokers when I was researching brokers this weekend where you get 90 days to demo, or you have, you know, different timelines and different things before you have to have that live account or deposit funds. With EagleFX, you get a demo for life. You know, you don't have to come back and make that live account, but you can. Now, this is one that was also on MetaTrader 4. So, you know, they still have that option, but what you will find is many brokers still use a MetaTrader 4 or 5, MetaQuotes. They still use that as the trading platform. You know, they don't have their own platform. One of the things MetaQuotes does provide is the white label. They provide the scripts. They provide the APIs. They provide all of that for the trading platforms. And so even though it might appear or be tailored a little bit to that broker, they're still using that same platform. So what happens, right, is when you come to your trade account, okay, what has to happen is you actually have to create a trade account. Okay, you're going to have to open a trade account. Now, when you open a trade account, you'll get an email. So I haven't made any new deposits or anything. I'm going to walk you to how to do that in a minute. But when you open up this trade account, okay, it's already telling you the type of account. You have to pick your currency, that your main currency. And this is what I meant about leverage, okay? Now, am I not going to be able to scroll down? But it's a 1 to 500 on here. It might be. Let me pull this up a little bit. I put this thing on my laptop. So I'm trying. So I downloaded the thing on my laptop. All right, here we go. So 1 to 500 is the leverage. You know, I can go up to 1 to 500. And you'll begin to understand like how that leverage is different. And then of course, I'm gonna click open a trade account. And now I have a trade account, right? Now I have a trade account. So what happens now is I actually received this in an email. So I did get this in an email, okay? And I'm not looking right now, I just know I got an email. So that's how you actually create a trade account. Now, your demo accounts, okay? Your demo accounts, kind of what I was saying, test our platform, completely risk-free. Your demo accounts never expire. Look at what they can be opened in. Start with any balance. As you see, mine is $10. And I wouldn't recommend starting a trade account with $10. I mean, you know, I wouldn't, right? I just, you know, we're talking about leverage. So, but for test purposes, I put $10 in here a while back when we were setting up for the training to fund your accounts or to set up demo accounts. So that's that. Then of course, you know, when you're looking at the different type of platforms. So first, obviously, you're going to need to figure out how to deposit funds. Now, you can do Bitcoin, which is why we needed to understand Cash App, or, you know, you can do a wire transfer, you know, your deposit method. So if I click Bitcoin, then you need to understand, like, how are you going to deposit? Like, what am I using? And then how much you want to deposit. Okay. So basically, you know, what is it and how much is it that I actually want to get started with. So that's how that works. Now, what happens once you do your deposit, right? What happens once you do your deposit? This is what I meant. You know, this is what I meant, is that it's actually going to be like when you look at your accounts, my trading accounts, I don't have any money in my trading account. Okay. My where's my dashboard? But you see, I have $10 in my wallet. So you have a wallet, but it's not in your, you have a wallet, but it's not in your account yet. Okay. You have a wallet, but the money's not in your trade account. So when you used to open up your MetaTrader 4, or when you log into the browsers that I'm going to be sharing with you in a moment, you will notice that it's not there. Okay. Any questions so far? So I'm trying to go at a slow pace. So, but I'm gonna go at a slow pace. But so if you have any questions while I go through this, drop it in the chat and I'm gonna address it, because it's quite a bit we do have to cover tonight. Okay. So, you know, so that's that. Now, once we deposit the funds, then of course I come to an internal transfer and I can use the $10, okay, if I wanted to transfer it, and I select the trading account that I wanted to go to, and then I'll put the amount. Like if I wanted to put $5, right? And you see that there is no fee, and there will be $5 in my account. And then of course, we're gonna pretend that's 500. So it would be $500 in my account. And, you know, that's actually what would show up. So that's actually how you do that. And I like that because the money has to be in your wallet for me to make a withdrawal. You know, it has to be in my wallet for me to make a withdrawal. So I can, they added PayPal via Coinbase. I've always done Bitcoin. So when I want to make a withdrawal, obviously I do it via Bitcoin. You know, that's why we were using Cash Apps per se. So we use it, and I would want USD. And that's what I will withdraw. And of course, I would need my Bitcoin wallet address. Not going to get into that on tonight's call. But, you know, not going to get on that on tonight's call, but just wanted to kind of give you an understanding. Now, let's talk about the trading platforms. So here are my trading platforms. They have a Windows trading platform, a web trader, okay, iOS and Android. Obviously, based on the conversation we've been having, that's not even going to be available. It's not there. Okay. So we have right here what we call, you know, a Windows. Okay. So I'm going to show you the Windows. I'm going to show you the Windows. And then of course, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the web trader really quickly. And then of course, I want to go to the Windows. I'm going to focus more on the Windows. So if you have yours up, if you have an account, you have something, you do want to go ahead and download it. Okay. Now, this is what the web trader looks like. Okay. So you enter trades on this and not your phone. Okay. I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm going to go to the other one because this one has more limitations. It works. It's completely attached, but it does have limitations. Okay. As far as just a few things, you know, it's all the features are there, but they're not customized. Okay, they're not customized. I've never tried the iPad, but what I do know about an iPad, when you try to download it, the only thing you might be able to do is the web browser. Like I've never tried it on the iPad. I never have the opportunity to have the iPad because out of 3 iPads and 2 little people, I don't understand how they always have them and they're never available for me. So it's 3 iPads, 2 little people, you do the math and make that make sense. So, I've never, I've never had the opportunity to, you know, try to do it on the iPad, but my assumption would be because Apple, you know, my assumption would be because it's an Apple product, that you wouldn't be able to download it. And it does have apps, you know, it does have apps. So that's what my assumption would be. All right. And so the only option I would believe that you would have would be the web browser. You're welcome. So now And so what you'll see is the features are the same, but one thing I do like, and I guess it's just preference. Now, you're not going to be able to do a setup on here. I just want to be clear. You are definitely not going to be able to do a setup. However, with doing a setup, not doing a setup, I still like red and green candles. I've always liked my candles to be red and green. Preference, but even if my setup is not there, you still have to enter things on here, as you'll see. The same way we had to enter on our phone. So if I'm looking at this, I still want red and green. And so I'll show you how to set that up and how to change that. But we're not analyzing here. You know, there is, like I said, you know, I'm not analyzing here. You notice that it's not as friendly, and it's not going to be the right setups. So we're not analyzing here. I'm going to show you how we do it, but we're not analyzing here. We're still going to be analyzing on the vibrata. So before I pull that up and kind of walk you through that, one of the things I wanted to show you is, and because I say you're going to make your own decisions. So when we're talking about US brokers or Forex brokers, this is where you can kind of make some comparisons. So, you know, you have your Oanda, your IG, forex.com. Now, you know, I didn't do this one. I didn't do the last two. I did these three and some other ones. Okay. So I actually set up accounts with all of these and a few other ones, but I did not do these two. Now, when you want to begin in comparison, all right. So once again, you make you start making your personal decisions. But you look at minimum deposits. Okay. Like Oanda doesn't have the swap fees, you know, no inactivity fees. So, you know, no funding fees and different funding methods. Okay. So just quite a few differences. Now, once again, the leverage is going to be about 1 to 50. So you're looking at how many currency pairs they have. Now, this is a difference. You notice that what you don't see is indices and the commodities. Okay. On forex.com, you have two. So just want to kind of put that out there, you know. And so there are other things that you can do. I actually started setting, we'll come back to that later. I just want to get you started. Now, why I think this is a perfect week. What is today? Today is Tuesday. We're closing out the fiscal year. So I think that this is perfect timing for us before the market gets hot and heavy again next week, for us to get in, set our accounts up, playing with the demo accounts, taking trades. Even if you're a seasoned trader, I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to get in and start demoing and practicing and playing with it so you can get very comfortable with it, you know, before next week. All right, that makes sense? You know, makes sense? So, all right. So now, the one I have for you, okay, the one I actually have set up for you already is Oanda. And so one of the things, like, I actually want to come to the main part. Go back. So I'm still kind of learning a little bit about this. Switch to demo. I want to go back. So I'm in my, so you see how I did that? I switched to my demo account. It's not a why Oanda. I just kind of walk you through, you guys going through looking at different criteria that you will determine what broker you pick. So I'm not, once again, I'm not advocating any broker. I'm just giving you, what I'm doing is showing you how to use some brokers. That's it. I'm just showing you how to use some. You're going to have to make a decision. Now, one thing you'll notice is they're all similar. You know, they're different, but they're similar. So I'm showing you two different ones. You know, one, Oanda has, you know, these Oanda, forex.com, and I believe IG, they have their own trading platforms. So I just pick one, you know, I just pick one. And what it's, you know, IG says best for beginners. Oanda said a leading US Forex broker, right? So hold on, because I keep getting hot mics. All right, so so these are things, you know, forex.com says low spread, so they all have benefits to them, you know, all of them, all of them have benefits and different things. So you just have to make that decision, what works best for you, you know, what was best for you. So, right, that's the question. So now, you know, so now let me get back over here. So I want to get back to one thing I do like that I've noticed that in some of these is like they have like the news. So you know, you can kind of get an idea. We talk about always checking the news before you trade. You know, they, you know, you kind of see that they all have like some information on what's happening or what's going on. The market pulse on this one, you know, talks about, where is it at? Because that should have been our economic, there it is, our economic calendar. And so things that we do come in and check, you know, our red folders, the impact that it's going to have. So these are those things that we're looking for before we trade, right? And then of course, you know, they do have desktop, you know, if you want a desktop version, like where I can kind of pull that up, where you saw that's what we were just in. I'm trying to get back. So once again, you know, I was not using this one, so just trying to make sure I get back to, okay, here we go. Trying to get back to, you know, trying to get back to that main page. So that's why I say you guys bear with me just a little bit. All right, so now, right, when you look, like, once again, that's demo. And what I want to show you, so it's defaulted to demo. I want to show you these trading methods. So, you know, I want to show you like how you manage your funds. This is what I did like about some of these US brokers. Because we're so familiar with how do I get back there? We're so familiar with like with using Bitcoin and things. You know what, here, let me go here. We're so familiar with using Bitcoin and things that, you know, did I accidentally click the wrong thing? That my other thing is, it was trying to die on me. Sorry about that pause. So we're so familiar with using Bitcoin, but what I do like about this is they have ACH transfer. That's what I'm trying to get to. And so maybe I can't be in my demo account for that. So let's come out of that and go to the live account and then come in here. And I did it already, so it's gotta be. Okay, see, ta-da. Now I'm not gonna walk through there because, as you know, it uses what is the one that everybody uses? The AC, but it connects your ACH. So obviously account information and different things will be on there. So we're not gonna go through that, but I just wanted you to see that you can actually make, I did a $50 deposit through ACH to test it out. $25 was available immediately. You do have the ability to use a card as well, your debit card. So you don't have to use the Bitcoin. You know, you don't have to go through and use Bitcoin, and you can pull it out in the same method you deposited. You can make withdrawal in the same method that you did deposit. So you have different, you know, you have different funding methods, right? You definitely have different methods. So now let's come back over here to our trade account. So you're gonna have to play with that one on your own, because that's actually a live account. But I know most of us know how to attach an ACH by now. You bought some Kingdom Currency, you know how to do ACH. So now when we come back over here for trading, we come back over here to trade. All right. So you can kind of set up some favorites that you have on the side. And then of course you have your Forex pairs. Okay. And obviously you'll see what you need to see over here. You'll see the currency. And what I don't want to be live to do this because we have not analyzed a thing. So let's get back over here in a demo account. Let's get a demo account to push the button. Okay, so like I said, we have not analyzed a thing. And so far, I do want to pause for the cause. Any questions, comments, or testimonies, anyone? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Let me check the other chat as well. So nobody. So talk to me. What do you guys think so far about the options that's available to you? I'm actually excited. I don't know about you, but I'm actually excited. What's your thoughts? Drop it in the chat. I did lock the mics. Too many hot mics tonight. Drop it in the chat. You say interesting? Interesting. I'll see. There we go. Nice to see different options. Exactly. And like I said, I just think it's going to create that environment where, you know, change looks good, right? So it's not scary at all. You know, it's not scary. And I think it's just going to give you the opportunity to create an environment where, you know, you're a little bit more disciplined because you're sitting it up there and you're looking at it. And so I'm actually going to be trading on both of them. You know, I'll be trading on both of the platforms that I'm sharing with you this evening. You know, we're all in this together. So, right, in this, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So if you're trading and you know why I started to do it and set some up, I did though, but I started to do that and set up, you know, but when I think about indices in crypto, you know, you need to be disciplined. And if you are not, this is my opinion, if you're not consistent because of the amount of money that they utilize, you know, you need to be disciplined. And then when you think indices, we always, and what we've been telling you for indices, you need about $1,000 in your account. Well, the leverage is different now. And so I've seen, and what I was looking at with the US brokers, the ones that do offer it, I've seen that you would need, that you will need about $2,500 to $3,000 to trade indices. So I actually like that because, you know, I've seen people, I tell people, look, make sure, you know, you're being disciplined. Make sure you're not touching it until X, Y, and Z. Make sure. And guess what happens? They don't make sure. And so when I tell you it's creating an environment where it's forcing your discipline, I like it. I do. I like it. All right. So let's get over here. What am I doing? Clicking the wrong buttons. All right. So I want AUDJPY is what I want. All right. Now, well, once again, it's a different leverage. You are very accustomed to 1 to 500. Most people are, because when most people start trading, they start with somebody. Well, what leverage are you asking a person who to help you? And most people are saying just do 1 to 500. You don't know why, you don't know anything, you just do it. And so what leverage does is it gives you access to borrow funds. Indices are points and not pips. Pips are on, you know, for example, look at these pips, right? Pips are on the right side of the decimal, points are on the left side. So you notice that when we're trading indices previously, at a minimum for US 30, it was $1 a point, $1 per point. If your leverage was the lowest that it can go, that was $1 a point. That's because most people think a 0.01 based on a broker. Most people are looking at that 0.01 as a, you know, that 0.01 as a cent. But because it's an indice and they don't do pips, they do points, then it's $1, right? So that's $1 move. So if I have leverage, if I have a very high leverage, then I don't need $3,000 in an account to touch indices. But because it's so much greater than a pip, I'm going to need more funds in order to trade indices. So You know, that's why I'm not promoting that tonight. I'm not saying I don't want you to trade it, but I want you to be disciplined. And I want you to grow a very disciplined account. And that's where your wealth is going to come from. Okay. So I'm going to come down here. So, you know, if I do a market order, like I'm on AUDJPY. Now I looked at this one earlier. Now, once again, I'm gonna give you my disclaimer. I have not done anything. So if I do a market order, I want to sell. Now, what I like, look at this. You see this? I can just do 10 pips and it's going to give me the price. I can do, you know, I didn't have to come in and count the pips. I didn't have to do that. I just put 10 pips in there. I could put my stop loss in here. So I can actually just kind of, now I have the chart up on another computer. So, you know, like I said, once again, I had downloaded the other thing on my laptop. So I have that on my, you know, so I'm not able to, you know, just for the sake of space, you know, but for my stop loss, if I put a price at 93.284, just let's just put something there. Okay. So once again, I'm not really getting anything. This is no analyzation. Please let me give you my disclaimer. But you know, you see, you can enter your stop loss, you can enter your take profit. I can put I can use my market structure, or I can enter how many pips I want. And you notice it's highlighting which one I want. Okay. We always talk about trailing stop loss. You know, you can create a trailing stop loss, and how many pips do you want that trailing stop loss to follow you? Right now, obviously for 10 pips, I don't need a trailing stop loss, but you know, and I submit my order and it was successfully executed. And now you see I'm in a trade, right? You see I'm in a trade, and I should be able to see all of that information. Well, it's here. So you can see that it's here. All right. So you notice that this is where we are in the market. Questions, comments, testimonies. Obviously I don't see. Now, once again, I have the vibrato up on a different screen. But obviously, once again, this is still no analyzation, but you can see that I am actively in a trade. Questions, comments, testimonies. And then I'm going to show you the other one, and then we'll get to the strategy. Questions, comments, testimonies. Because I have to change the browser. And I love the advantage to deposit via ACH rather than Bitcoin. You know, you're not locked into anything. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I actually like it. Like I say, it's forcing us. Now, from my understanding, it works in Canada as well. I'm in communication with Ms. Graham, and you know, just to kind of see how, you know, it's gonna work, or what's over in. I think they use like an IC market, so in, you know, one of the most common brokers, you know, so I actually like it, and that's why I say it's a blessing in disguise, if you ask me. So now I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go back to that EagleFX platform, but I had to change browsers. So instead of using MetaTrader 4 on your phone, you can use these brokers on your laptop. Absolutely. Now, did you see how? Oh, absolutely, use a vibrato. So no, we are not getting rid of the tools. Oh no, 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 no. Now, one of the things that even if you were on your phone, I do want to specify, right? When you were on your phone, did you not, you know, no matter what platform you're using, there is always a chart. You know, open up, if any of you guys that got MetaTrader 4, you know, there is a chart, right? There is a chart, right? So you're not getting away from having a chart. Like, we're not getting away from having a chart. That's not happening. So, you know, however, have we ever analyzed? I enter my trades on my broker, but I'm still utilizing the tools and resources that help and do the heavy lifting for me. I'm still using those tools. So it's no different. What I'm doing is, you know, we've done training on this call to kind of show you how to get into, you know, how to set up your phone, how to do those things. But what we're doing right now is pulling this up, and I'm walking you through how to like get in here, how to take those, you know, how to actually take the trades, because this is new for everybody. I did not want to create an environment where I'm telling everybody, hey, just go figure it out. Good luck. You know, yeah, just go get you an OAND or go get you an IC or go get your IC markets, go get you an IG account, go get your forex.com. And then you'll be sitting there like, you still trying to learn how to trade. Now I got to go figure out this new broker. So I wanted to take the time to walk you guys through this so you will have some clarity and understanding. So that's what this is all about. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. All right, so let's see here. Now I'm going to, I just lost it. Let me pull it back up. I'm going to change my share. And remember, this is that demo account from 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿. You are very welcome. So this is the one that I downloaded, okay? So this is that MetaTrader 5 actually, that I actually downloaded. So this is actually on the computer, okay? This is on the computer. So one of the things that I'm gonna kind of start with, this one is a little different. I got you. It's not as easy on the eye as it's definitely not as easy on the eye as the one we just looked at, which is why I saved it for last. Now, once again, I'm gonna be very clear. We're not analyzing here. We're not analyzing here. But I still like the red and green, so I'm gonna walk you through that because I still like you to kind of know where you are. Now, so with this, okay, you notice that you have some, you know, obviously the things we always have, like file, view, da 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 da. Now, this was downloaded from 𝐦𝐤𝐿. So whenever you're using these, you know, you're going to want to download it from your broker. All right. So this is that web browser I downloaded from my broker. Now, I can add currencies. Okay. So one of the currencies we just put a trade in on, I'm going to add and both of them have their advantages. You know, we were at 𝐴UD/JPY. You notice that as I type in here, there's another way where you could just add them all. I don't want to do that. But as I type in there, I can come in and add that currency. Where did it go? So I want to add that currency, right? So it should be there. Did it not get added? All right, there we go. So you saw me type it in there, it popped up, then I clicked the plus. So I added it on there. So that's actually the currency we were looking at. So you notice though that it did not change it here. All right, it did not change it here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just drag it over. I just grabbed it and dragged it. This one looks like almost, yeah, that's pretty much what they're using. Yeah, that means he downloaded it from there. That's what that means. That's exactly. And so you'll notice that. And so all I did is drag it over there. Now, what I want you to look at, you know, I'm not going to go through each one of these features, okay? There are things that we'll build on later, you know, like the trailing stop loss and things like that. But one thing that I'm showing you, so you notice I clicked it and I held down and I drug it over. So now if I have multiple trades in, okay, I can have multiple windows. So I click this. Oh, I must have wrote over it. So I'm gonna get another one. Let me, see, look what I did. I want to add another one over here. I just did something. You see, I'm over here clicking buttons. See, I'm on this laptop. All right, so okay, so now I need my space. You see, I had to minimize it a little, and I'm gonna add this 𝐴UD/JPY back. You notice how they overlapping a little bit, right? So you notice they're overlapping. So when I come, you see the little Windows pane, I click that and it'll put them side by side. All right, I click that, it puts them side by side. Now, let's focus on this 𝐴UD/JPY. You notice it's my default. Once again, I like green and red. I like green and red, my preference. Some of you guys, you might like the black and white. I want the green and red. So I'm gonna come to my chart, all right? And I'm gonna go to my properties, all right? I'm gonna go to my properties. When I go to my properties, and all of this obviously was available on our phones, okay? When I go to my properties, one of the things, you know, I want you to see is bull and bear, bull and bear. So for bull, what is bull? Somebody help me out. What's bull? What color is bull? What's a bull? What's a bull and what's a bear? What's a bull and what's a bear? Green, red, red, green. It's a buy, right? Okay, I'm testing your knowledge. Just basics. We're still on the basics call. Okay. And then a bear is what? What's a bear? Okay, so I'm gonna just come in here and pick red. Ta-da. Okay. Now they're green and red. So now I have green and red candles. Okay, I got green and red candles. So once again, I'm not analyzing on here at all. Not analyzing at all. Now, I want you to understand how to save that template. I'm gonna come back to chart. I'm gonna go to my properties. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back to chart and I wanna go to my templates. You see that? My templates. So I've already saved it. So you can save template and you get to name it. So if I click save template, I get to name it down here and it's saved inside of there, right? Remember, I downloaded this. However, I've already saved it. So once you save it one time, okay, once you save it one time, come back to my charts, go to my templates, and I just called it my basic setup. All right, the other ones were already defaulted in there. I just downloaded this on this laptop. So it's nothing that I've played with. Now I've played with this and, you know, I understand this. I've done it before. You know, I have had it. I have it on my computer, but on this laptop, this is the first time I downloaded it and I wanted to have it fresh so you guys could see it fresh. So I saved this as basic setup, right? Basic setup. Now, if I click basic setup, then it will look like that. So if I was to come in, just kind of show you, I'm just going to randomly grab one, no rhyme or reason, right? I'm going to click my Windows tab. I have all three. Okay. I'm going to grab another one because I don't like that setup look, right? Let's add another one. You always need that blank window kind of thing. Click my, or that space. And now you see, now obviously, if I wasn't squished up trying to see the Zoom chat, you know, and everything else, obviously it'll be a little bit bigger, right? So just food for thought. So I click that chart. I'll come back to chart. I go to template, click that, go to template, basic setup, and it's there. Okay. Click that, go to basic setup, and it'll be there. Very simple. It just, like I said, just looks a little bit more than the other one. Now, also, you'll be able to see your trades at the bottom. Okay, you see your trades. So I opened a demo account. I've already placed a trade in my demo account. I did it at a 0.01. Okay, I did it at a 0.01. Now we're going to do the same trade. Okay, I'm going to widen this one. We're going to enter the same trade that we did. Now, once again, this is the setup that I have. You know, this is the setup that I have. And with the setup that I have, you know, we did this setup. We did this setup before. All right. We've done this setup before. And it's one that has been playing out very beautifully. But we're not going to talk about that right now. So I'm going to just enter those numbers. So for the sake of time, I'm going to just enter the numbers. Really not going to get into the eaches of this trade. It's one that we analyzed on the 9 o'clock, not this week, but previously. So what I'm going to do, so for disclaimer, you know, I'm not reanalyzing anything right now. So I know it passed the goal already. So yeah, it already finishes retest, which is why I picked this one. So what I'm going to do is obviously we want to take a trade. So I want to put a new order in and you notice it popped up. So you see order type, instant execution. You have options there. Do I want a pennant order? Do I want that? So I want an instant order. All right. And of course, I want to enter a take profit. This one I'm not going to do at 10 pips. I'm going to actually put the numbers in from our prior analysis. And I'm going to pick a stop loss, randomly pick a stop loss. My disclaimer, right? And now it's going to tell me buy or sell. We were selling this. So bam, instant order on. Okay. Okay. So notice that when we're on this chart, all right. So now what you get to see with this one is you actually get to see, I do not like how you're trying to maneuver this. And it's like everywhere but where I want it to be. All right. I know. So we place a sale. And I got to kind of squish down. So you see, it tells you a sale. I got my take profit and you have your stop loss up here. So it's showing you that it's selling. So obviously we've already analyzed this on a vibrata. It's already analyzed there. So we've already done our analysis, and then you come to the broker. So what I'm skipping right now is how we went to that, right? That's actually what I'm skipping. I'm skipping how we went to that, obviously. And now, of course, we're here on this sale. All right, that's what we are. Questions, comments, or testimonies. Now, drop it in the chat while I show you this. What you see is our, I'm on history, so I want to come to my trade. So now what you see is we're in a sale. Okay, we're in a sale. You have your price, all right, you have your price. You have your stop loss, my take profit. If I needed to alter anything, okay, all I did is double click it. All right, I closed it. If I need to alter anything, I double click it. Now, I don't want an instant execution. I want to modify the position that I'm in. So, you know, you hear Ms. Turner talk about all the time, oh, is it multiple positions? You can add more positions. So I want to modify the one that I'm in. So this is where we can kind of put that stop loss and everything else, right? We can do those things. And that's where you do that at. And that's how that one works. And any questions? Any questions, comments, or testimony so far? Any questions, comments, or testimony so far? Notice I did, it's, you know, one thing I do want to mention with this one is when you have the order thing up, where's my order thing? All right, so when I have the order thing, that's right here, right? So they do have what's called like the one click. I don't want one click, okay? So watch what I'm saying. When I click that, did it not pop up? So did I figure this out or someone showed me? I figured this out like a while back. I figured this out, you know, a while back. So just for reference. So I wish someone would have showed me. I do. I wish somebody would have showed me. And that's why you keep hearing me like, So there is a thing like if I don't, because I don't want you guys to do it. It's not popping up. I think I turned it off. So when you set it up, though, there is a one click, meaning that you're understanding no matter what format you're on. That's phenomenal. Now, who is iPad? Because your name is iPad. Who are you? What's your name? Give me your name. All right. So what I do like though, I mean, I think I turned it off, but there is this thing like if you just tap this and click it, it's like one click trading. I don't like that. You know, you might like it. I don't like it. I don't like it because if you accidentally hit the button, just all sorts of things. Okay, gotcha. If you accidentally hit the button or no matter what you're doing, you know, and you click that button, bam, I don't want that. I don't want that. So, and once again, it's personal, right? So look, we in profit, yay. So like I said, once again, that's personal. So, right? Now let's see. I'm trying to look at this one. So, anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? We're gonna go check on our other trade. Let me change the screen share real quick because I want to see what it's doing. All right, so you notice this one, you see where we at, how it says where my stop loss is, and we're right here at this take profit. So we're coming up on that take profit. So I just wanted you to kind of see, this one spells it out a little bit. You can kind of see where we are. You know, we did take a sell on the AUDJPY. Okay, we took a sell on the AUDJPY. You can kind of see your accounts right there. So just for the record. and you see my orders that I have, you know, it's telling me I only put one in. We ain't do that all that. So, but you can kind of see where that's at. And so we're coming up on that take profit. And of course, we're going to have to clear the spread too, but just kind of wanted to, I wish I could show you with them both sitting up there like that, but it's not going to let me do that because one, they're in two different things. Questions, comments, testimonies. Well, it's already available. This is already, if you go to our YouTube channel, it's streaming, and then this one will be uploaded so it will stay. But this is already, we're streaming right now. So it's actually streaming to YouTube. I have people on YouTube talking to me right now. Hi, YouTube family. So when we go to take a trade, let me see, make sure that didn't say hello back. So when we go to take a trade, that lot size is in there too. So, okay. So look, I did have a comment on there that I missed. So it says, I've been using Oanda for 2 or 3 years, and it's convenient for using your debit card instead of transferring money via crypto. So into crypto. See, I had a comment and I missed it. So awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's see here. We want to take an order. Well, we're already in there. So if I was to place a sale, all right, if I was to place a sale, you see, so it has a 1 unit trade. So you see, that's what they're calling it. Now you notice that these are obviously my pips, you know, and it's a 2.5 spread. So you can see the spread there, but it's in here. So you notice that my trade value is 1 pip. So they just kind of listed a little different. My margin used is 0.01. All right. So, you know, my margin used is 0.01. And of course, you obviously can increase it if you need to, but yeah. And you guys are just going to have to get in here and play with it. It's absolutely no way around it. You're going to have to get in here and play with it. You're going to have to. And once again, you have different options available to you. You know, you have different options that you can come in and you can test the waters, figure out which one you like the most, you know, and when you figure out which one you like the most, ta-da, there you have it. So once again, I just think it's a blessing in disguise. Sometimes things we don't expect end up the way we need them to be. And, you know, and I can guarantee, based on what I'm seeing in the way you guys are right now, I honestly believe that this is just a little bit more user-friendly, right? So these are more user-friendly. And then, what'd I do with it? I lost it. Hold on. I was trying to change my screen share and it did not work out for me. So when we come back over here, right, I'm gonna close up everything else. So we back in the hole, you know, and so obviously you're gonna see how it kind of, you know, this one has a little bit more detail to it, but at the end of the day, you can still see the movement, right? You still see all the movement that's happening on there as well. And so you can kind of see your trades. And so like and I'm gonna say this again, we're not analyzing on here. What you're doing though is seeing more of the movement because we actually had a chart on your phone. You cannot look at both, where you don't get to see all of this at the same time. But on your phone, you have trade. On your phone, you have chart, right? Everything, you know, is there. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to make sure you guys are good. So questions, comments, testimonies. I honestly, I love it. Questions, comments, testimonies. KOT, that's one I do not have. I do not have KOT. Now I do know that Oanda does have an app. It does have an app. So I did get that one, you know, so it definitely has an app as well. But you know, I want you guys to get a little comfortable on this computer as well. So as I pull my phone up and I see this app, I can see the activity. You know, I see the activity that's taking place. So, yeah, they have an app. Questions, comments, testimonies. Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I knew you would, though. I know you would. I know you would. I'm loving the opportunity to expand my mind. I just think it's a lot more user-friendly. I do. That's just how I feel about it. I think it's going to create quite a bit of discipline that's needed. You know, I do. I really want you guys to practice on the computer this week. I really want you guys to practice on the computer. So yes, Oanda does have, which ones did I download? Let me see. So I have the Oanda app, I had an IG app, and I had a Forex.com app, and I have a TradeStation app. So I have a few new brokers. But I want you guys to, and I know you just asked about KOT, and some of them are, you know, they're available in different places. So I'm not sure. So I'm gonna challenge all of you guys. I'm just gonna challenge you guys. I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you. I want each and every last one of you all to no, absolutely not. Before I even finish my statement, the question is, does this change what we are learning in the academy? Absolutely not. You know, so there is a skill set development, and then there's a way to take the trade. So there is a skill set development, and then there's a way that you take the trade. So many people understand like how to, you know, like blue line cross over the red, you know, many people understand that, you know, blue line cross over the red, PSR flip to the top or bottom, you know, people understand how to mark up the charts, but you still have to enter the trade. There's an application aspect of it as well. And so what happens is that's where the discipline has to come in, is in the actual application aspect. And so in that application aspect and in that application, you know, what has to happen is, you know, this is just another way. Like there are many different ways to do things. And so it does, like, I know how to drive. I think I drive quite well. I might actually even be a NASCAR race driver, but I think I drive quite well. But you know, the other side of it is, what type of car am I using? It does not change my ability to drive, but it just changes how it is just a different vehicle that I'm getting in to drive, right? That's it. So just want to, you know, when you really think about it. So the skill set, I still have my skill set. Like my car, I told you guys I hit a turtle. So my car's still in the shop. It tore my whole undercarriage up. So I was supposed to get it back this week, but now we have a hurricane, so I'll probably get it back next week, hopefully. So, but what I'm saying is that means I have a rental car. So I'm in a whole completely different car. So, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm driving and my skill set is allowing me to understand. I still understand the rules of the road. So your skill set that you're developing is still the same. You understand the rules of the road. The only thing that changed is how we get from point A to point B. So we're not able to use MetaTrader 4 anymore on our phones because it was pulled from the App Store because of the geopolitical conditions. So now we're just using a different vehicle to have the same results. My daughter still has to go to school. I'm not going to walk. We're not walking. We're not walking to school, right? It's not what we're going to do. So because we're not walking to school, right? I thought he did. I honestly didn't think he did that much damage. And I was in shock when I got to the thing. I was quite in shock. But yeah, I think he did. He just tore up my car and walked off. So, you know, but yeah. So I mean, and yes, I could drive. I was behind a truck. Let me get a disclaimer. I was behind one of those big old trucks. It was a 2-lane, one side go one way, one side go the other way, and a ditch on the side. So by the time the truck ran over him, I mean, it's a 45-mile-an-hour street. It was the turtle, the ditch, or the other car on the other side of the road. I picked the turtle. So I picked the turtle. You know what? I'm not messing with you, Mr. Barnett. We're not doing that today. It was the turtle, the ditch, or the other car. I have an accident on my record that I've never had in my entire life. It wasn't the other car. It wasn't the ditch accident. It was the turtle. He looked like I was gonna scale right over him. It just didn't happen. So I've never hit anybody in my life. I know how to drive. So I've been hit, but I've never hit anybody. I've been hit sitting in a red light, but I've never hit anybody. So yeah. It was a turtle. The turtle, that's collision, not an accident. So I mean, comprehension, whatever that stuff is, it's not an insurance class, but you know, but okay, questions, comments. Oh, what I was saying was, I want you all to get to the point this week. I want you guys to practice, right? I need you to practice. I want you to make sure that you get in and you practice, okay? This is that geopolitical week. I want you all to make sure that you practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Not practice doesn't make perfect, because you could practice things incorrectly. Perfect practice makes perfect. And so I want you all to get to that point where you are practicing, okay? And we have this week to do so we can have some very profitable weeks. Plus, you know, when I rise after the hurricane, you know, when we get everything back together, get our power back on and everything else, you know, I want to make sure that you all are aware. You know, I want to make sure that all of you all are ready to go. Come Monday, we're ready to go, right? We are ready to go come Monday. So just kind of want to put that out there, that we are ready to go. And you guys have had 3 days of practice. Not saying that that's all you'll need, but at least I know you're doing it. Yes, perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect. Now, not necessarily great. I don't really care about pip reaction time. So just to be clear, when you understand the market, you don't care about the pip reaction time, but the pip reaction time is important to understand. You know what I mean? Like, so for example, if I know, I teach you pip reaction time because I want you to understand that if you're trading a correction or if you're trading a continuation, correction or continuation, which one are you trading? If I'm trading a correction, I'm not guaranteed to get those 10 pips. I just want to be clear. You know, it's no guarantee I'm gonna get those 10 pips. So I'm either gonna, you know, but I want you to understand that because you have a pip reaction time, you're trying to get 10 pips. You take 8 pips to get in a trade. You technically don't need to be trying to do 10 pips and cash out, bam, and you know. But if you, what we've been teaching you from a market structure perspective, no matter what you desire to trade, how you desire to trade, if I'm a swing trader, a scalper, intraday, no matter where I fall in that, even if I only want 10 pips, because I don't like to sit and just let it sit, then I can, you know, walk away. So my pip reaction time really does not matter, you know, in that sense, just to bring clarity to that, because I teach pip reaction time, but I want you to understand we don't trade based on our pip reaction time. So your perfect practice makes perfect in the sense of your trades, okay? In the sense of your trades. I want you to practice, you know, just think, the kids play sports, my daughter does dance, and whenever I dance at Monday, the teacher was like, nope, let's go, bam, bam, let's start. Nope, let's go, bam, bam. You know, she kept starting them over until they got it right. And then once they got it right, then they practiced what they did right. And so you want to practice what you're doing correctly, because if she would have allowed them to keep going, if she would have allowed them to keep moving, then they would have been on stage at recital time looking real crazy, because what they were doing was looking real crazy. So perfect practice makes perfect, because you can keep practicing something incorrectly and it's just not the right activities to take, right? So perfect practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. All right. And yes, I coined that too. I'm gonna make a book. Trade whisper quotes. That's what I'm gonna do. Pip reaction time, perfect practice makes perfect. You know, I got all kind of things I'm gonna throw in there. All right. You are, thank you so very much. Thank you. And yes, to everybody in Florida. Yes. Everybody keeps texting me like, how are y'all doing? I'm like, we're fine. It's not here yet. But thank you. No, but I know you guys care, and I know you guys are thinking. So, you know, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and I thought about my mom today, because, you know, she made coffee on the grill during Hurricane Andrew. So I was told not to tell you guys what else she did. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But yeah, we have everything we need. You know, we have food, snacks, water, barbecue grill, charcoal, lighter fluid, candles. We're good. We're ready. So we thank you. Anyone else? She basically, I mean, she made coffee on a barbecue grill. Like, whatever we were gonna say, we were gonna be okay. We had coffee. She was a coffee drinker, and she was not going a day without drinking coffee. But she cooked. She put a pot on the stove, and she cooked whatever. I mean, a pot on the grill. She cooked whatever she needed. We were gonna have during the hurricane. So we're survivors. We got this. Anyone else? Any questions, comments, or testimony? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Nah, she wasn't a soldier. She was a soldier, but she wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a soldier. That's that hurricane prep. That's that hurricane life. You know, that's what that was. But you all right. But I wasn't in the field as a soldier. I'm in the car with that. I did whatever I had to do to be essential. I was always essential personnel. I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, y'all laughing. I was always essential personnel. If there was a way to get out of a field exercise, that was me. That was me. I would go for real. I would deploy, but I don't want to train. Like, let's keep it real. Yeah, I was always essential personnel. So whatever I needed to do to be essential. All right, guys. So hopefully this call helped. Hopefully, this brought clarity. Now let me get some 555s in the chat. Let me get some 555s in the chat if you all are going to go practice. So it was a boatload of, let me see that. What did it say? Oh, okay. It says this was a great call. But I was like, it was a boatload. All right, it was moving. I had the other things were coming in the chat. So I'm glad to hear that, you know. So we're going to close this call out. Obviously, we're going to close this call out in prayer. As we prepare for the rest of the week. You know, we do have our call. Please get registered for those summits. Now you understand the significance of why we do this. How many of you all truly believe that what you heard tonight, you know, that the information that is imperative and it's something that we need to know, right? How many of us believe that? How many of us know that? We need to make sure we are shouting from our rooftop, the top of our lungs, because this information is too important. And so you all need to be registered for those summits, because we're doing those things for you all. You know, we're doing those things, you know what, you practicing with Ian. I'm not. So, yeah, so, we're doing this for you. We want to make sure we expand. So let's go ahead and close out. And don't forget, I did drop that Cash App, right? I put it in there. So, you know, definitely want to make sure that you all, if it's on your heart, once again, to just whatever it is, $5 from 500 people add up. So whatever's on your heart, you know, it's just very tragic and very, you know, just a situation. So anything we can do to kind of be there for her right now. She is a very essential member of our family. So we definitely want to show her some love, because she definitely, she commits her time, she commits her resources, she commits everything she has, and she shows up. She never misses a beat. And so for anybody that, you know, is just on your heart, just, you know, it's Miss Licia Monet. You know, just we want to look out for her. So Father God, we come to you right now, God. God, we praise your mighty name, and we just thank you right now. God, we lift you, and we just, God, we praise you in the mighty name of Jesus. And we lift Miss King. We lift Miss Licia Monet and her family to you right now. God, I pray that you give them some comfort, some understanding. God, I pray that, you know, you just give them, you know, just the ability to stand and to trust you in this process. God, I just continue to pray that you continue to strengthen them in this time. God, we just praise you, God, for every person on this line. God, we pray right now that you cover everyone in this storm's path, that, you know, you just bring, you bring us safety and peace, you know, as this storm travels through Florida. God, I just thank you for this information. I thank you for a skill set. I thank you for this movement because of the connections, the bonds, the families, the lives, the things that are being changed. Father God, you are the one and only God. You are the one and only. And we trust you in this time. We trust you in this process. And we do know, we definitely know that you have us. Continue to cover us, continue to cover this movement, God, as we expand and we expand and we elevate. Let us stay reminded and stay focused on the fact that this is kingdom business. God, this is kingdom business, and this is a kingdom movement, and it is for your kingdom, and let you be the one to forever be glorified. We just thank you. We praise you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Amen and amen. So, all right, guys, we love you. Love you, love you, love you. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all be blessed this evening.